Welcome to HealthWatch, presented by Novant Health. I'm your host, June Baker. This show marks a special milestone for HealthWatch, 10 years of featuring local physicians and health professionals discussing health topics of importance to local residents. Today we will talk a bit about what's happened over those 10 years with some key leaders from Novant Health, Deborah Rochelle, Christy Delbridge, Stephanie Herron, and Shelburne Stevens. Stay tuned to learn about valuable health topics with HealthWatch. First, let's welcome Deborah Rochelle and Christy Delbridge of Novant Health's Volunteer Services Program. Deborah, Christy, welcome to the show today.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
It's great to have you guys. And Deborah, I know you know this, but can you believe we've been on the air 10 years already?
No, it's very surprising when I heard that.
I know.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And Deborah, you've been on the show so many times, several times, but let's remind our viewers what your role is at the hospital.
Okay. My role at the hospital currently is Patient Services Manager. I'm responsible for the volunteers, who are close to my heart, as I always say, closest to my heart, and then guest services, chaplaincy program, and also patient partnership. And patient partnership is that part of the patient services that takes care of concerns that patients may have, and we're kind of that bridge for them to help them with that.
Oh, nice. And I'm sure we get a lot of good compliments.
Always.
Yeah. Now, Christy, I know you're relatively new at the facility, so tell me what you do at the facility.
Well, I'm the volunteer coordinator, so I work with our 170 plus volunteers on their scheduling, on their assignments, work in training, just making sure that we're all in all the right places. And the part that I think that's equally important, if not more, is just making sure our volunteers feel appreciated and valued for the work that they do at the hospital.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have you done work similar to this in the past?
Well, I worked somewhere totally different at a ski resort, but we focused, we focused on guest service, and that's what it's all about with the patients and their families, and so I was in employee relations, and so that's very similar.
Very similar, yeah, well, that's great.
Yeah, we were very lucky. She found us and we found her, so we're very happy to have her there.
Well, we're glad to have you both on the show today. So, Deborah, first let's talk about the growth of the volunteer program. And I feel like there are definitely more volunteers now in our facility than there have ever been in the past, like in 2009 when we first moved. So is that the case?
It definitely is the case. I think in 2009 when we moved to the new hospital, at the old hospital we had 60 volunteers, 60 plus. It fluctuated a little bit, but now we have 170 plus our chaplaincy program and our junior volunteer program, so a lot of growth.
Well, the hospital's a little bit bigger.
It is.
A little more services, so there requires more volunteers. But
39 departments that we serve right now.
Geez, wow. And you've added some new programs as well, correct?
Yes.
I think one of those is pet therapy.
Pet therapy is an exceptionally fun program.
I love it.
Everybody's so excited to see them, whether they're our team members, the nurses up on the floors. You walk into our lobby and you see them. We have 11 dogs and their handlers, and then they each have an assistant that works with them also. And those guys just, they calm patients when they come into the hospital. That it's proven to lower blood pressure and reduce stress, and it's just puts that wow factor in people's day at the hospital.
I love when you come through the front doors and there will be a picture of the dog that's working that day, and it is like work. That's their job. And so I think that's so cute, and it tells you what their name is.
And they some of them dress for the occasion.
Yeah.
We have one that's dressed as Spider Dog. He had his Easter basket last
every
week.
Holiday.
Every holiday. and some of the others, they have their little collars on and everything, so they're just wonderful.
Yeah, we had the couple who started that program on our show. Yes, and that was really sweet. They brought the dogs. So that was really nice. I know there are many other new opportunities for our viewers who might be interested in volunteering. So how might they do that, and how does that work? And
well, to get started on our Novant Health website, novanthealth.org, people can get some of the information, but fill out an application, or they can stop by the hospital at the front desk. We have applications available. Once they do that, then we reach out to them, invite them to a new volunteer information session, which Deborah traditionally leads, and we tell them all about the process, because volunteering at a hospital is a little bit different than some other experiences that they might have done. And so we help them through that process, and then we have a regular orientation, and we try to find a fit in the hospital that's a good match for what they want to contribute, whether they want to be working with patients or they want to be behind the scenes. We have some people that one of our volunteers makes notepads from recycled paper. Another, they stuff patient bags to go into rooms, but then you see the obvious ones at the front desk in the surgical weight room.
They're actually working.
Yeah, and food services. We have help all over the place. So.
Yeah, I love the one in food services.
Allison.
Allison.
She's a doll.
She is.
She's so sweet.
Yes.
Everybody knows Allison.
Yes.
Yeah. Deborah, I think there are home volunteers. Is that correct? If they don't want to come in, they can stay at home and do some things?
We've worked diligently on our home volunteer program. We have a home volunteer tea every year. There's over 50 plus home volunteer groups. They can be from one person up to 35, I think we said. We had the volunteer tea last February, and we had over 80 people there for that, and that's our opportunity to pay back to them for the things that they've been doing for us, like the baby blankets and the prayer shawls and the teddy bears and all of the things that they bring in. We're very lucky to have these groups helping us.
Yeah. I know that the volunteers have received many awards. Can we talk a little bit about those, what those awards are or have been?
Yes, I'm so happy. We received the a Governor's Award for our Compassionate Clothes Closet several years ago, and ever since then it's been just a wonderful program that has continued on helping people in the community to provide clothing and underclothes and socks. Socks are very popular with people, and so those are donated items that we provide to them, so we won the Governor's Award for that. Recently we won the Governor's Award for the Pet Therapy Program, recognizing Mike and Gloria Foss. That was really wonderful. And then recently, Fran Salone Pelletier won the Healthcare Hero Volunteer Award. She was so well deserving of that, and so we're just very excited about it.
So what are some of the other more notable accomplishments that the volunteers are proud of?
I would say that our veteran rounding is one of the more popular.
What is that?
Veteran rounding is where we have volunteers that have gone through some training, and they go to our veterans when we identify a patient as a veteran. They go to the room, they speak with the veteran, we put a veteran's card outside the room so that team members and others can sign the card to recognize them. We give them a challenge coin that has the Novant Health on it.
I just saw one of those today for the first time.
Yeah, we sell those also in the gift shop. Yeah, it's so wonderful, and they're very appreciative of that. And then we also have our Veterans Day ceremony that we do either on Veterans Day if it falls during the week. And
that's really nice.
And that's really nice.
That's
we honor our veterans. And then also our cheer cart. We send our cheer cart, which is a hospitality cart, around to the inpatient units, and we have a list of items that we provide them, from magazines and books to some of the other items that the home volunteers provide to us. So that's really the patients love that.
Well, it sounds like it's a busy time for volunteers at Novant Health Brunswick Medical Center, and I want to say, personally, I appreciate everything they do, because we have some great ones. We have one in our office, and Barb, and I just love her. She does a great job. So we would love to have you come back again sometime and tell us about any of the new things that are going on, and that would be great. So thank you so much for being here today.
Hello everybody. everybody. I'm Shelburne Stevens, president of Novant Health Brunswick Medical Center, and we're here today to pull a big surprise over on our host, June Baker. We're celebrating the 10th anniversary, so I'm going to be sneaking in to surprise her. She actually thinks that she's here today to interview me about the past 10 years, but today we're going to make her switch seats, and I'm going to interview her. So follow us on in for the big surprise.
Now let's welcome Stephanie Herron, Director of Clinical Excellence. Stephanie, welcome to the show today. I'm so happy to have you.
Well, thank you, June. I'm glad to be here.
Great. You also have been a very frequent guest on our show several times over the past 10 years or so. And like Deborah and I know you remember the old hospital well.
Yes.
Too. So for our viewers who may not know you as well, tell us what you do at the hospital. What is your role?
My current role is in clinical excellence. So I deal a lot with quality and safety at the hospital. Mm-hmm. But for my background, I've actually been at the hospital for, it'll be 23 years this June.
Wow.
And my background is a nurse. I'm a nurse. I worked in the emergency department for quite a few years, and I also was the nurse manager for about 10 before I transitioned into my new role.
Wow. Yeah, we've both been there probably longer than most people.
Yes.
Well, you have a great history with our community, and let's talk about the old hospital a little bit. What are some of your most special memories of your time and your work there at Novant Health over the years?
I actually have quite a few special memories. What I really, really enjoy is the times that we've been out in the community and able to help the community. I really enjoy when we do our health fairs and we work in the community to help educate, to provide services and resources, and getting to meet the community one-on-one to talk to them about our hospital and to see them be engaged and want to know more about us. That has just been a really special part. I think the other piece of it is working with some of our community groups and being able to connect them with different initiatives that we have at the hospital to make sure that we have lots of education going both ways.
Yeah, those are some good memories. We do have some really nice health fairs here in the community. But I think one of the most memorable for me, and I think you would agree, is the day we moved.
Yes.
That was a very special day. It was sorrowful. I felt bad, but I was happy at the same time.
Yes.
It was kind of a different feeling. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how Novant Health and with all the changes in healthcare in general, let's talk a little bit about the focus on clinical excellence now and how that's evolved at Novant Health over the years.
Sure, there's actually been a lot of changes as far as clinical excellence. When we talk about clinical excellence, that's a lot of patient safety as well as quality in our services and with the resources that we provide. So when you look back across the years, there's been a lot of change as far as treatment for chest pain and also treatment for stroke. And we have been involved in a lot of initiatives both at our facility and throughout our community and actually throughout the state. So as far as chest pain, we do a lot of education with the community, and we make sure that when our patients come in that we provide the most up-to-date, best quality and the safest care that we can. So part of that is we make sure that every patient gets aspirin when they get there, because that helps to thin the blood and helps things move a little bit better around the heart as far as circulation. We also make sure that we get an EKG done within 3 minutes so we can identify earlier if there's any issues. And then it's kind of interesting to see how it's transitioned from looking at those things on the bedside, looking at education and qualifications of our nursing staff, of our providers, and now recently we've been able to collaborate with New Hanover Regional Medical Center, and they now have their VitaLink team here for critical care transport, so we have their helicopter here. And that means even faster transport to New Hanover for the specialty cardiac care that they need to have if they are having a cardiac emergency.
So I guess all that plays into why they've changed the name of your department, is that right?
They have, yes, recently. We were clinical improvement, and now our department is clinical excellence, because we know that clinical improvement isn't enough. You need to be excellent. that's what our patients deserve, and that's part of our promise to our patients, that we will provide that high, safe, quality care. Now, so our department here is clinical excellence, and then one of our providers is Dr. Priest, and then also our director, our senior director, Susie Rakita, and together they form the Institute for Safety and Quality. And so we serve underneath the Institute for Safety and Quality, and that's looking at every process and every bit of care that we provide to make sure that it's safe and high quality.
Wow. So how does your team support this, this initiative?
Well, we do have on site 2 clinical analysts, and they're both nurses. They're critically care trained, and what they do is they review charts. So they look at our patients' care as far as chest pain, strokes. They look at throughput times for lab and radiology. They read through every chart to make sure that we're meeting the highest quality in every single measure. There's pieces through CMS that we make sure that we can meet as far as those times. We also do a lot of work with best practice as far as stroke times, because it's really, really important that as soon as you identify a stroke that you get that care and treatment. And that's where we do a lot of education for FAST. Do you know, have you ever heard of FAST?
I have.
So FAST is a piece of education for stroke. You want to always look for F as your facial drooping. A is going to be any arm tingling or any numbness. S is going to be slurred speech. And T is time. Because as soon as you identify, you've got to get to the emergency department so we can identify and provide that treatment. And both of our analysts work really hard to make sure that we are providing that. And then they provide feedback to our team and our staff to make sure that everybody's meeting all of those measures.
Awesome. I know that we hear a lot about quality ratings, and there are lots of things going on out there, a lot of different surveys and what have you. 10 years ago, we didn't talk about this nearly as much. No. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
So talk about some of the big ones that our viewers are likely to maybe have heard about.
Oh, sure. I think the biggest things right now would be star ratings and also Leapfrog.
Leapfrog.
Yes. Yeah. So they can actually go on site. There's a website called Hospital Compare. And you can actually look at different facilities. You can compare them to the services that they provide, and you can look to see their letter grades through Leapfrog, and you can also see the star rating. And what's really interesting is it pulls in a lot of information when you look at those ratings. So you're looking at the quality of care, you're looking at safe care, you're looking at infection rates, and you're even looking at the timing of the care to make sure that it's being done in a proper time. So I think it's really easy to see, you know, your stars. Everybody's used to a star rating.
Star rating.
You know, even restaurants, but our star rating's a little bit different, a different focus. And Leapfrog is actually letter grades. So you always want to make sure that you're striving for that A, just like we did in school. And I'm happy to say for several surveys now, Novant Health Brunswick Medical Center has been an A. The team there has just been fantastic, and they're doing a great job.
So if I'm a viewer at home and I'm looking for a hospital to have a procedure in, or I'm looking for a new doctor, I've just moved to the area.
Sure.
So as a viewer, where would I go? Let's talk about where I could find this information.
Sure. Actually, the best place to go is our own website. If they go to Novant Health Brunswick Medical Center website, we do have information there on our quality scores. We have information on our services, and we also have a physician finder. Now, if you want to widen that scope a little bit, they can go to Hospital Compare. And Hospital Compare will do exactly that. And they'll compare our facility to other facilities in the area. And that will give them an idea of where everyone's comparing as far as safety and quality initiatives.
On those websites, can you look for a specific procedure at a specific facility?
There are some, the most common procedures you can find on there, but some, no, it doesn't.
It doesn't get to that detail.
No.
Well, let's talk about some of the major successes or improvements that you've seen over the years.
Wow. I think definitely we've already talked about chest pain and stroke.
Right.
There's been a huge change in that. And recently, there's been a lot of really, really interesting things that have happened at our hospital that go to improve our quality and our safety. We actually just started having sleep studies.
Yes.
And we've not been able to offer that before.
Right.
So that has been so important for our patients that have respiratory issues, that have cardiac issues. So they're actually doing them at the hospital, and now they're doing them at home.
Yeah.
which is fantastic.
That is
And
fantastic.
actually, 1st of April, we started offering dialysis for hospitalized patients.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, so now people can stay in the community, they can be seen here, and we can offer them that same remarkable care. So there's just great changes that are coming to us with new providers, new procedures, new processes, and everything just supports everything that we do with safety and quality.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, as you look forward, are there new changes in regards to clinical excellence or hospital quality that you see coming in the future?
Honestly, everything, June. I mean, as wide as we're going now with quality and safety, it's being proactive. It's looking at everything that we do, and that really pulls in not only when you think of quality and safety, it's not just my department. It's every single department there at the facility. It's every single provider and team member, and even focusing on our first do no harm behaviors,
Right.
where we want to make sure that we have safety behaviors, which leads to quality. So that is looking at everything that we do. And I think it's having that proactive initiative and looking to see before we have issues.
Right. And it seems to be a team effort at Novant Health.
It is.
Everybody's responsible. So how can you lose? I mean,
We can't. We have a great team and wonderful patients.
yeah. Well, you are just so full of great information, and it's been a while since we've talked, so I would love to have you back again to hear how this...
Surprise! And yes, we're still filming.
We are?
I've never crashed your show before, but I am today.
Why?
Because you think you're interviewing me, but I'm on trade seats with you, and I'm going to interview you today.
Oh, no! Are you serious?
We are serious. This is your 10th anniversary, so we're going to relive some memories.
Oh, my goodness. I'm going to cry.
No, it's going to be fun.
Okay, well,
Okay.
I'm a little nervous.
No, don't be.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye, Steph.
Bye, June.
Can we
Thank you.
pause? We're going to switch seats.
Oh, no.
Let me get my questions.
Okay. Oh, well, I had your questions, but I guess I don't need them. Oh,
That surprise you?
yes, I'm really nervous now.
Don't be nervous.
I'm not usually. I like that seat better.
You
Okay.
tell us when you're ready to.
I cannot believe this.
Okay. Very easy. You ready?
Yeah.
So how does it feel to be in the hot seat today?
Nervous. I'm not used to this. I want to be in charge. I like that seat better.
Well, just for a few minutes, we're
Okay.
going to get to know you. So
All right.
every time we're on the show, you always ask us to tell us, the viewers, a little bit about ourselves. So why don't you tell the viewers about you and your role at the hospital over the years?
Oh, my. That goes back a long way. I've been at the hospital 20 years. This is my anniversary year, 20 years.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. And I'm really excited about that. It's a wonderful place to work. And since Novant Health came on board, what a change. But getting back to your question, I've been a number of things. I started there as a part-time person. I had, my husband and I moved from West Virginia to here 22 years ago. And I was visiting with my husband. He was having physical therapy at the old hospital, and Sandy Welch was working there. And I said to her, "Do you like to work here?" And she said, "Oh, I love it here. It is a great place to work." And I said, "Well, I'm looking for a job. I'm bored. I need something to do." And she said, "Well, just walk up and get an application. Just fill it out. It's not like it is today online, you know." So I went up and made an application and ended up working for the president of the hospital, Paul Schulte at that time. So that's how I started, and then it became full-time, and then I worked in corporate health and network development, and now I am the manager of, relationship manager for the Novant Health Medical Group.
Good, good. So I know we put you on the spot today with
Yes.
this. So can you think of some of your favorite moments over the years with HealthWatch that just really stand out to you?
Presented by Most of them involve you.
I'm responsible for the day-to-day.
Those are my favorite shows because we have such a great relationship and we know each other so well. And so it's so much fun to do that. And we laugh, and sometimes we can't even finish a show. We have to stop and And we have many bloopers, but most of them we can't show on the TV.
Yeah, we do have lots of outtakes, but we're not going to go back
No,
down
we're not
that
going
far.
there today.
So how is it when you go out in the community and people recognize you?
It is so much fun. I can't go to Belk or to Publix or to Lowe's without running into one of our viewers. And just the other day, I happened to be somewhere, and the lady at the desk was asking my name, and I told her. And this other lady came up to me, and she said, "Are you June Baker?" And I said, "I am June Baker." And she said, "The June Baker with the TV show?" And I said, "Yes, that's me."
Yes, most people I see call it June Show.
Yes, they call it June Show.
That's good.
So, yeah, that happens frequently. But it's fun, and I love it. And it gives me the opportunity to make that personal communication link between Novant Health and our community. So it's a great avenue.
So what kind of questions do you get about your hairstyles?
Oh my. Who does your hair, number one? How do you have the guts to cut your hair that short? Mostly things like that. I wish I was as brave as you, they'll say. But it's just hair. It grows, and it's no big deal.
Good. So I know we film these shows weeks in advance before they air. How do you plan the wardrobe and make sure you don't wear the same outfit from 6 months ago?
You're gonna die. But I buy a new dress or outfit for every show, and so I don't wear it. I leave the tags on it, and if I happen to wear it somewhere else, I'll put the tag in the pocket, so I know that it's still a new dress and I can wear it on the show. That's pretty vain, isn't it?
No, I don't blame you. You got to have some type of way to
Have
do
to have
that.
some kind of a method to that madness.
So let's talk about your role when Novant Health first came to Brunswick County. You were involved with that, weren't you?
I was. That was pretty exciting. In fact, they reached out to me because they knew who the president was going to be, and they reached out to me and said, "We would love for you to meet with her." That would be Denise Mihal. And so Denise and I had the opportunity to go to dinner a couple of times to make sure that we were a fit, because not everybody gets along with everybody or can work with everyone. And so fortunately for me, that was a wonderful fit, and I enjoyed every moment of it. But it was pretty exciting to be in on those first initial few meetings. That's probably the best thing.
Nice. So tell us about your involvement when we moved from the old hospital to the new hospital.
My involvement.
You were out selling it, giving tours.
Yes, I was. Pretty exciting. It was great to, I got lost. That was the worst part, I got lost. When I was used to one floor, and I knew where everything was, and I knew everybody who worked everywhere. And with the new facility, it was so much larger, with 2 floors, and that was pretty exciting. But we were giving tours right and left, and I felt like a Vanna White sometimes.
Well, you've done a remarkable job with this show, and I just have one more surprise for you. We're going to bring on some folks who have been on this side of the camera before, and we're going to bring some folks out who have always been on the other side of the camera to celebrate your 10-year anniversary. So welcome our guests.
Oh my gosh! I'm so, oh my God! Oh, hey! Oh my God! Oh wow! Oh, thank you.
That's right.
Oh, thank you so much. I know I love you too. Oh, thank you. Oh.
Okay, we're done with questions.
Okay.
So, but I do want to take a moment and thank you for what you've done to bring this vision to life and make HealthWatch such a huge success here in the community. Every time I'm on the show, people come up and comment that they saw the show, and they really do watch us out there in the community. So you have been the soul and heart behind it, and we thank you for that over the years. I also want to take a moment and thank ATMC for allowing us this venue to do this show, and thank our viewers for allowing us to come into their homes and educate them on health care here in the community, and new providers and new programs. So thanks to everyone there. And with that, I'll take your line. Thank you for joining us again today, and join us next time for HealthWatch on ATMC TV.
How much bandwidth will satisfy your home's hunger? The average household now uses 7 wireless devices a day, including TVs, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. HD streaming and gaming can use large amounts of data and slow down speeds for other users. The more devices you use, the more bandwidth your home needs. So make sure you have enough bandwidth. Get speeds up to 1 gig with high-speed internet from ATMC. It's the speed you need to power all your devices. Call today.
We've got a whole new way to watch TV. Introducing Merge TV from ATMC. It's your ATMC cable TV package delivered over the internet to your favorite streaming device without cable box fees. Plus, you get great features like cloud DVR storage, jump back to the beginning of a show with Start Over, and look back up to 72 hours. You can even personalize TV viewing choices for the whole family. All from the local company you know and trust, ATMC. It's the new way to watch. Merge TV from ATMC.